everybody, 3 Years Down. I'm Nate.
I'm James.
And today we have for you a review of 2022 George T Stagg.
Let's go. As many of you probably know, George T Stagg is part of the BTAC collection, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. This is the second one we have the privilege of reviewing from the year 2022. And as probably a lot of you also know, we happen to like Stagg. So
Maybe a little.
Yeah, just
maybe
a little tiny bit. Pretty excited about this one. There was no Stagg, George T Stagg, that is, in 2021. So they skipped a full year. They said it was not up to par for them in their, QC. And hey,
made everybody sad.
But I appreciate that. Before I get the rest of this out,
Or I interrupt you.
or Nate interrupts me, you know what you should do?
You should go hit the like button if you're so inclined, or dislike. I don't care. Just hit something, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Either way, it registers. That's good. We prefer likes, but whatever. And then we'd love it if you put a comment about what is the favorite Buffalo Trace Antique Collection bottle you've ever tried. If you haven't tried one, what's the one you'd want to try?
Yeah. And then, while you're down there, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This year's 2022 George T Stagg is 138.7 proof. That is the highest proof in quite a while. Pretty excited.
2016, 15? Somewhere way back there, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. There was the hazmat.
There was the hazmat, which was over 140. A lot of people seek that out because they're proof hounds. And that's cool.
Sorry, I'm already smelling. I swirled those.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Right? I broke the rules.
Jeez. So, 15 years, 5 months, Mashable #1, obviously. It's Stagg, baby.
Yeah. And if you're still watching, let's actually get to the review now.
To the nose and in.
Thanks for watching this train wreck so far. I think there might be some cherry in here.
Like a hint of baking spice as well. Maybe like a dash of almond. Kind of sounds like a baking recipe.
Yeah.
Add some cherries,
like
baking spices, and a dash of almond.
Julia Child's here. We'll just put a dash of almond in this little bit. That was a terrible British accent.
Yeah, it was pretty
really
bad. I love it though. Please comment below if you want to see Nate do more accents.
Perhaps maybe a slight bit of apple, a little green apple.
Definitely can get the green apple for sure. It's nice because like the baking spices play off that apple a little
It's
bit.
kind of like a baked apple pie with some cherries on it.
Yeah, which is weird.
Kind of.
Because you would never do that unless you're a psychopath. But yeah,
true. I'm a psychopath.
The interesting thing is to me is there's not like any like very pinpointed like sugar aspect of this in the nose at least. I don't get like demerara, brown sugar, or even really wood sugar, I guess.
And the oak is there and not an afterthought, but also not, it's subtle. That's the word I'm looking for.
Subtle. It's definitely there, but I think it's layered really nicely with all of the other citrus, not citrus, fruit notes in general.
Not mad at it. I think we should taste it.
Let's get to the taste.
Let's go.
Okay, there's Stagg. That is Stagg. It is like staggy.
There's one of your favorite words that just showed up.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you say it.
Skinnamin.
Yeah.
Or aka cinnamon.
Yeah. But there's also that big Mashable #1 oak funk. Yeah, it's there.
And this is now cherry pie, not apple pie.
Correct. The apple is kind of there. But it's interesting that it moved more acidy, which you'd associate more with cherries than apples, right?
I'm not getting a huge hug off this. It's there. It's nice and warm. Maybe the second sip will bring it in. Let's go to the second sip because I'm not saying that's a downfall of this by any stretch. At 138 plus proof, I would expect to feel it.
Yeah, for sure. I do love the mouthfeel of this though. It is oily.
The mouthfeel on this is very, I would call it heavy. I've been trying to describe mouthfeel in more of a weight factor. Oily, yes, no disagreement there. But I think what resonates for me is if I tell someone it's heavy on my palate, it hits the gums.
Is your like
I'm warming now.
Esophagus like broken? Because like
I am now warming.
It's definitely huggy.
I'm now warming, but don't get me wrong. But it's just got a way about it that's not at 130 proof. It's got a way where it's not just burning down the throat.
You ever had those? I know you have the cherry amaretti cookies.
Nope. Don't know what you're talking about. Nope.
Okay.
Never had a beer like that either.
Yeah, for sure. The finish of this is very reminiscent of that to me.
I can see that where there's that crackery cookie quality to it.
With that like slight pop of that cherry and
with
then
a little butter.
Yeah.
A little butter.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it a lot.
Some great descriptive words.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, flavor notes, cool.
Like it.
A lot.
Delicious.
I like it a lot.
I like
I'm gonna go
it.
in for a final sip, and then we'll get into some more discussion about this.
Oh man, the oak is actually really prevalent now.
It is on the palate too on third sip,
Yeah.
but it's not off-putting, and it still doesn't cover the cherry and the cherry pie and warrant and whatever 80s references you want to make.
I was mid-sip. Thank you.
Wonderful. Anyway, I envision like sitting in front of a fire where it's like cold outside and snowing, and like you're just sipping this beautiful product that has a ton of cherry, and that smoke is coming in from the fire a little bit because maybe your flue is broken or something, which could be toxic. Don't do that. But so I don't know. That's Nate's rant for this video. Bringing it back because we actually are trying to give some value here.
Correct.
Purchase, pour, or pass.
Well, so the MSRP on this Bad Larry is $99. I have seen and purchased one George T Stagg at exactly retail one time.
But did you?
Yes, I did.
How much money did you have to spend to be allowed to purchase that one?
$0. I got it out of Walmart. I got very lucky.
Oh, okay. Never mind. My bad. I thought you got it through Vault or something.
No, I
Okay.
swear I actually bought it at retail, which was, my mind was blown. But with that being said, you ain't finding it. I'm sorry.
Not at 99.
You're not finding it.
If you are, you're winning a bottle lottery or something.
Right. Or you're like me and you're just like a, 1%er. Not like that.
You're such a 1%er. You got your Harley.
Yeah.
And your house in the Hamptons. It's amazing.
Like two different kinds of 1%ers there.
No, I mean.
Anyways, obviously it's a buy at retail. Like there's just no question. You're just buying it. You're buying basically any BTAC at retail because you don't see them. But if we're just putting this into value of like, hey, is this worth searching out in general? I'm too biased. I like Stagg. So yes.
All right, so then let me bring it.
Nate might have
bring it back for
a
the people.
different perspective here.
At $99, there's zero question. You see it on the shelf, you're allowed to buy it. Just buy it.
Yeah.
Do with it what you like, but if you don't open it, then you're missing out.
Agreed.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Where would I go secondary price on this? I just can't go full secondary on this either, but here's where I'll go with it. It's definitely a buy. At secondary, if you really want to try this and you can't find a local bar that has a good pour or whatever the case is, bottle bust this with some friends.
That's a good idea.
Find 5 friends, each throw $1.20, $1.30, $1.40 at it, and go get 4 ounces, 6 ounces a piece and have a great night.
Yeah, I mean, it's currently been dropping in value slightly as more of it gets distributed throughout the United States. And I've seen it as low as $1,000 with shipping, basically. So
6 ways is $1.50 a piece, $1.70 a piece.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
In that regard, obviously you can also try and like get rid of some bottles or try and trade up. Trading up is hard.
Point being, I think there's worth seeking into secondary here. If you have the means and you don't care to pay the cash in secondary, go for it. If you feel like you don't want to step up, there are ways to get into this on secondary. Samples, bottle busting with friends. I think it's worth that is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm gonna add one thing to this. So the entire BTAC collection, right? Like there are 2 that are pretty hard / pretty high as far as out of reach, and that's the Eagle Rare and Saz 18. They're both just really expensive and typically have the lowest bottle counts. And honestly, most people don't love them anyways. They're not typically the most sought after. With that being said, I think Stagg used to be an extremely good value. And this is starting to encroach on not being as value. It's very good. Thomas H. Handy. If there's going to be one that you're like, I just can't stomach that extra $300 or, $350 or whatever.
I gotta agree with what you're saying here.
Go get Handy. Go get it. It's phenomenal. And again, if you don't like rye, so first of all, if you haven't watched that Handy review,
It'll be at the end. We'll put the plaque up here somewhere. So
go watch it. But second of all, if you don't like rye, you're gonna love Handy. I promise.
it is so approachable. But we're not here to do a Handy Thomas H. Handy review. Very careful about that. So what I think you're saying is, well, you're a purchase at retail.
I am, yeah.
I'm a purchase at retail.
Yes.
I may find a creative way at secondary if you don't want to pay the full fare at secondary.
Right.
That this is spectacular, but it's starting to get up to the point in secondary where the value is skeptical.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if we're just looking at BTAC in general, THH still holds my heart as far as value is concerned. Mm-hmm. Stagg holds my heart as far as flavor is concerned, and WLW, but that's a whole different thing.
So let's go ahead and extend this a little, because I think this is a fun conversation. This is hard getting podcasty, and I apologize. I know you guys didn't come for that. Let me ask you this. I think I know your answer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1 GTS or 3 Stagg Juniors?
3 Stagg Juniors.
So there you go. So maybe that's the in. If you're questioning, I need to chase that GTS, because I wholeheartedly agree with him on this.
Yeah, it's like 9.
I'd rather have 3 Stagg Juniors and actually still be $200 ahead, to be honest with you, at least. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and that doesn't even, I don't even care about the bash.
That's a secondary. That's just pure secondary.
Yep, I'm still in for 3 Stagg Juniors.
So maybe that's where we're at. We're saying this is spectacular. It's great. But there we are. So I'm gonna say this has been a George T Stagg review, a Thomas H Handy callback, and a Stagg Junior value check for you.
You're welcome.